What's going on, guys? Back again today to kind of give you guys a little bit of a update for those of you who are not following it, like actually in the comic books. Marvel's new Ultimate line. This started back this past, like towards the end of the summer, with Ultimate Invasion. It was a four-part mini series that basically it served to bring back, well, not bring back, but create a new ultimate Marvel comic book universe. Uh, Back in the day, for those of you that don't know, um, around like the turn of the century, turn of the millennium, in the year like around 2000, Marvel started this new comic book line, and it was they called it their Ultimate line. And basically, all it was they took all of the entire story of Marvel Comics and all the characters within Marvel Comics, and they jump started it from square one, and they set it in the modern era. So whereas with the mainline 616 universe, the main Marvel Comics universe, that continuity stretches all the way back to like Peter Parker getting bit by a radioactive spider when he was 15 in the year 1962. This is now, it's like Peter Parker gets bit by the spider at the age of 15 in the year 2000. So it's just a modern retelling of these stories, and it was very traditional. Like everything about these stories, the main lines were Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Fantastic Four, and then their Avengers line, which they actually just called, instead of calling them the Avengers in this universe, they called them the Ultimates. So, and then there was a few like mini series, like or limited run series that also came into like Ultimate Daredevil and Elektra, and there were events like Ultimatum and the Galactus trilogy and all that kind of stuff. Ultimate Human, I think there were big event comic book limited series in there as well. But the thing about the Ultimate Universe was the characters were the same. The costumes were relatively the same, except the ones that needed a modern day update. It was just a modernized Marvel. That's all it was. But they didn't drastically change the characters. It wasn't like they didn't drastically change the characters or their backstories. Like Tony Stark was still an eccentric billionaire with an alcohol drinking problem. He was just that in the year 2000 now. Like everything was the same. It was just set in modern times. That's not what's happening with this. So this is a very, very different take on the Marvel Universe and the overall story of Marvel. Some of the characters are recognizable, but like Spider-Man looks very much like Spider-Man, how you'd expect him to look. But this is a very, very different take. So for those of you who don't know what this story is, this guy right here, the Maker, he's an evil alternate reality version of Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. And he escapes in the Ultimate Invasion, the mini series that set up this new Ultimate Universe. He escapes from his prison in the main Marvel Universe, and he escapes to it. He time travels, basically. He time travels back in time, or first he time travels into the future, I think, and then he time travels back in time. And long story short, he he screws with the events of the Marvel Universe to make it so that very few of the heroes of the Marvel Universe that we know, like Thor, Captain America, Spider-Man, like none of them came to be. He prevented the spider from biting Peter Parker when he was 15. He prevented the Fantastic Four from getting hit by cosmic rays or whatever it was going to be and becoming the Fantastic Four. He manipulated events to have Thor Odinson locked up in an Asgardian prison, pretty much forever. And it wasn't until Howard Stark, who in this new altered Marvel universe, altered by this guy, this evil Reed Richards. He calls himself the Maker. Howard Stark is Iron Man. He ended up becoming Iron Man, not Tony. Howard. Howard Stark ended up becoming Iron Man, and he fought the Maker and tried to stop him. It resulted in them being trapped inside the Maker's like lair for, I can't remember if it's 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. But they're like the lair is this giant sphere, and it's sealed up. No one can come in and out of it, and they're trapped in there now for like a certain number of years. And in the meantime, Tony Stark has become Iron Lad, and he's going around with this reality's version of Reed Richards that's native to this reality, who the Maker made into this reality's Doctor Doom. He's going around trying to put the reality back the way it's meant to be. He's finding all the heroes that the Maker prevented from becoming heroes, and he's giving them now, decades later, he's giving them the opportunity to become the heroes they were meant to be. So, like, for example, in Ultimate Spider-Man, Peter Parker's like 33 years old, married to Mary Jane, has kids, and never became Spider-Man. And now, at the age of 33, he gets this orb that finds its way to him from Tony Stark, Iron Lad, that basically tells him, like, hey man, this is going to sound crazy, but like 18 years ago, you were supposed to be bitten by a radioactive spider and become one of the world's greatest heroes, Spider-Man, but that was stopped by a guy named the Maker. So here inside this orb is a costume and the spider. If you and there's he said his message also includes some shit about like if you've always felt like something was missing from your life or like things were supposed to go a different way, maybe this is a sign that you're right. So I'm paraphrasing, but that's the gist of it. And so now Peter allows himself to get bit at like the age of 33, married with kids, and he is just now in adulthood becoming Spider-Man. The new Ultimates team is very different. Captain America, through some wibbly wobbly, timey wimey time travel shit, he was removed from the ice. He was frozen in the ice, but he was removed from the ice back in like way back in the past. Like he really wasn't in the ice for very long. And then Iron Lad and this Doctor Doom, the new Ultimate Doctor Doom, went and found him, took him out of the ice, time traveled with him to the future, where he can now be Captain America. Even though he's getting a late start being Captain America, but he can now be Captain America. They also go and free Thor Odinson from prison. Thor should have started being Thor like 18 years ago, 20 years ago, but he was prevented from becoming the hero he was meant to be by the Maker. So it's like this is all basically a giant what if story, which is like what if all the Marvel Comics characters they didn't become Marvel superheroes when they were supposed to, and they all end up getting like a 20-year late start on being the heroes they're meant to be. That's essentially the gist of this Ultimate Universe. It's like, what if all the Marvel heroes got a late start being Marvel heroes? Now, a lot of people, I'm hearing a lot of positivity about this, particularly the new Ultimate Spider-Man. A lot of people are loving this. A lot of people are like, oh, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. What do you love about it? I'll tell you what you love about it. What you love about it is that Peter Parker, for the first time in a long time, is not a miserable little bitch boy who can't get the girl. For the longest fucking time ever, Peter Parker, who is Spider-Man, one of the world's greatest superheroes, can't land his woman, who knows he's Spider-Man. If that should be like the biggest attraction, like, but no. And what's worse is in modern days, like Peter's been fucking cucked by some rando named Paul. Like, I'm not shitting you. This is legitimately in the mainstream Spider-Man comics. Mary Jane has decided to forego being with one of the world's greatest superheroes so that she can fuck a dude named Paul and raise children that they've adopted to get. What the fuck is going on, Marvel? What are you? That's the only reason. That is the only reason that this is so successful. It's successful because it has a wholesome, together, solid relationship version of Peter and Mary Jane. And do you know why that is so appealing to so many fans? It's because if Peter and Mary Jane are married and they have children and their marriage is solid, it's like they've been married for over 10 years already. Their marriage is going great. They're deeply in love. Their marriage is solid. If that's the case, then the fans feel like, well, then we won't have to worry about bullshit relationship drama in our superhero comics. Because if your marriage is solid, there shouldn't be any drama in your marriage. That's the thing is people are tired of this whiny bitch boy Spider-Man chasing women that don't give him the time of day and fucking other dudes and shit. Like, wasn't there also something in the comics recently where like Mary Jane or some girl that Peter loved, like fucked Norman Osborn, his greatest enemy? Like, wasn't that in there somewhere too? Something like that? Or am I wrong? Someone let me know in the comments. But people are just tired of Spider-Man being a little bitch boy when it comes to his women. Like at this point in the mainstream Marvel comics, at this point, with how much bullshit Spider-Man has had to endure in the romance department, like I don't understand how he's not just like, yo, fuck trying to date women. I'm just gonna be Spider-Man, ball out, save the city, be the hero, and I'll fuck rando bitches all day long. I don't care. All I gotta do is swing by any hot girl in the city and be like, yo, what's up? I'm Spider-Man. And she's on my dick instantly. Why the fuck am I putting up with this Mary Jane bullshit? That's where the fans are at right now. Why? That's the only reason this is selling well and why everyone's obsessed with it is because it's got Peter and Mary Jane and they're together and they're in love and they're happy and their relationship is stable. And the reason that that appeals to people is because people are tired of Spider-Man's relationship drama crap. They're tired of it. Just give him a fucking girl and let's move the fuck on. Relationships in superhero comics are so fucking dumb. The only ones that are successful are like what are some fan favorite relationships? Vision and Wanda, Gambit and Rogue, Superman and Lois Lane. And here's why those are tolerated in the superhero comic book genre. Because they're not filled with a bunch of bullshit drama. Superman, Lois Lane, they're in love. The fucking end. The fucking end. Now, the only time that gets annoying is when they try to make Lois Lane a relevant character. Like, you're Superman's side piece. Alright? You don't have any powers. You're like, I don't care about your fucking martial arts classes you took. I don't care that your dad's a military general. You're Lois fucking Lane. You're some fucking female reporter. And compared to the big dick ballers that make up like the Justice League and the Titans and shit, you don't fucking matter. So just shut up and be Superman's side piece. Shut the fuck up. And that goes both ways. Like, I'm trying to think of an example where it's like the chick is the main hero and she's just dating some normie dude. I can't think of any. But like no, in superhero comics, relationships are appreciated when it's just like you just have the characters get together, start a relationship, get married, and then you move on. They're married, the end, they're done, it's over. We don't need relationship drama. Will they? Won't they? Oh, but then this and they betrayed that. Oh, he rejected her proposal. No, we don't need that cringy relationship drama in our superhero comics. I'm okay with our superheroes having someone that they treasure in their life and that they love, but just let them have it and then shut the fuck up about it. Just let them have it and let it be permanent and never let it get rocky or fucked up. Because it's annoying. So, after ranting on that for a good amount of time, if we overlook that aspect of the Ultimate Spider-Man thing, right? Like, oh great, he's with Mary Jane, they're in a stable, loving relationship. Good. It's such a fresh take. It's not a fresh take, it's just what we've always wanted, right? But if you ignore that one minor detail, I gotta be honest, guys, I don't really think this is the ultimate universe I was hoping for. I just don't. Like I said, the basic premise is it's like, what if all the Marvel heroes got a late start being Marvel heroes? my answer to that is who gives a fuck? Like honestly, when they announced that they were going to be like bringing back a new Ultimate Universe, and they said like, oh, Ultimate Invasion, 4-part mini series, limited series, and at the end of it, it's going to culminate with a new line of Ultimate Marvel comics. I thought my first hope, my number one hope, was that it was going to result in the old Ultimate Universe 1610 coming back, but certain events from the 1610 timeline would not have occurred. Like I thought they were going to bring back Earth 1610, but bring it back prior to Ultimates 3. Prior, because Ultimates 3 and after that is when it all went to shit. Ultimates 3 and Ultimatum and getting weird with like Scarlet Witch and Silver Surfer are brother and sister, but they're fucking each other. Iron Man and Black Widow make a sex tape and it gets released publicly. What the fuck else? The Blob eats the Wasp, and then Hank Pym bites off and eats the Blob's head for revenge. And then, like, it's just like Ultimatum. All these characters, so many of the good characters just get brutally murdered for no fucking reason. Like after, like Ultimates 3 and beyond, Earth 1610 got fucking stupid. And my number one hope was they're gonna bring back Earth 1610, and they're just gonna bring it back at a point in the timeline prior to Ultimates 3. Like basically everything from Earth 1610's inception all the way up until the end of the Galactus trilogy, and then kind of just like start fresh from there. Obviously, that's not what happened. They wanted to start a brand spanking new Ultimate Universe. I think this one's called Earth 6160, if I'm not mistaken. And then I was like, okay, fine, you're going to start a brand new Ultimate Universe, Earth 6160. Once again, though, I was like, okay, I'm okay with you starting over from the very beginning all the way back at square one, but remember why the first Ultimate line was successful in the first place and stick with that. It was successful because it was not super drastically different from traditional normal 616 Marvel. It was just set in modern times. So if you want to redo that and do a line of Marvel comics where Spider-Man at age 15 is getting bit by the spider in 2024, great. The Captain America is getting found in the ice in the year 2020, great. I'm fine with that. But this is just like, you know what it is for me? It's too different from normal Marvel. I did not want it to be that different. I wanted a fresh start. I did not want all new, all different. I just wanted a fresh start. Like I've said this in previous videos on my channel, I'm of the opinion that like in order to keep franchises like Marvel and DC alive forever, every generation has to have its own version of that franchise. So in terms like let's use Marvel Comics for example, I kind of feel like every 25 years of real time, Marvel and DC for that matter should do a hard 100% thorough back to square one continuity reboot. Just shake the etch a sketch every 25 years of real time. Shake the etch a sketch super hard on your comic book universe. Start it back at square one. Peter Parker gets bit by the spider. Captain America gets found in the ice. Start it all the way back at square one. Very beginning every 25 years of real time. And that goes for DC as well. And then it's like, and you can have the previous iteration from the past 25 years. You can have it get a nice tied up closure ending with nice wrapped up with a bow on it. And then we move into the next 25-year iteration of the story. And each time that you restart the story every 25 years, the whole thing is the characters are the same, their personalities are the same. The only things you're changing are, okay, what's different about the world today compared to the world back then because it's set in modern times, and then also what costumes and costume designs need to be updated, which ones have not aged well in the last 25 years, which ones look goofy as fuck. That's the only things that need to be changed. Adapt it to the modern times, make some costume updates. Other than that, retell the exact same story over and again and over again and over again and over again every 25 years. That's how I think you should do this. But it's not what we're getting. We're getting, what if all the Marvel heroes started their careers as Marvel heroes 20 years late? That's what we're getting. And I don't know if I give a shit. I don't know if that's I don't know if it's really interesting to me. I don't know. I would have rather had a complete restart, but keep it very traditional, just set it in modern times. Because if you think about it, we're 1 year shy of it being 25 years since the last time you did that, Marvel. The last time you did the Ultimate Universe was in the year 2000, and it's 2024. We're 1 year shy of the 25-year mark. This is the perfect time to do it, but you didn't. You went more than just a reset. You did more than just reset the story back to the beginning. You're telling an entirely different story. I want the same story retold, just in new modern day, 25 years later. What's different about the year 2025 compared to the year 2000 or 2024 for that matter? And make changes based on that. So, yeah, that's my take on the new Ultimate line. Um, my commitment to it at this point is I got Ultimate Universe #1. I read all of Ultimate Invasion, so I knew how this universe came to be. I got Ultimate Universe #1. I got Ultimate Spider-Man #1. There's two more titles, Ultimate Black Panther and Ultimate X-Men. I am going to get and read each of the #1 issues. And after I've read all, let's see, Universe, Spider-Man, after I've read all four of these #1s that kick off this universe, I'm going to make a judgment call. Is this enjoyable enough for me to keep going with it? Because I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling it. But anyway, that's my thoughts and opinions on Marvel's new Ultimate Universe so far. Let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments down below. Are you guys enjoying it? Is it enjoyable to you guys? Like, am I the weird one here? Is most people out there clamoring for all new, all different, completely radical new take on the Marvel universe? Is that what everyone's in the mood for? And then to be more specific, are you guys really like super into the whole like what if the heroes just start their careers late? Is that really the theme that you guys like? Was that the secret the whole time to get people invested back in comics? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. Get a discussion started. Leave some comments. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It really helps out my channel. And if you want to help out my channel even further, check out some of my other videos and maybe subscribe. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys later.